quickly, England manager Gareth Southgate has said his contract situation is, and I quote, not an issue and never has been.
No, because it'll be Old Trafford next year.
As he enters the final 6 months of his deal before the Euros this summer. Right, stop laughing in the gallery. Honestly, get HR. I feel like I'm being bullied today. If he joins Man United, I'm pausing my support.
Okay, question. If he wins the Euros, then turns the rocks up.
No, I don't want him.
Why? But if he wins the Euros...
You know why. You wouldn't have him at your gaff.
We've got a manager.
Yeah, whose hair doesn't move when it rains.
Honestly,
Man United legend Rio Ferdinand joined Jim White and Simon Jordan this morning following Wayne Rooney's claims that he believes some Man United players are sitting out of matches without actually being injured. He said if Rooney's right, those players should be ashamed of themselves.
Wayne played in an era where you never played a game without niggles or injuries. I think he's saying that he thinks there's a few injuries in there that people could play with. If that is the case, it's a disgrace because it's a privilege to play for these football clubs, to play for Man United in the Premier League. And I hope that's not the case.
What I hope about that story is it's building momentum on where no facts. You know, then they get Rio Ferdinand. Well, if that is the case, it's disgusting. Rio Ferdinand says it's disgusting.
No, but you're not, though. We
don't know anything about whether or not. It's a hell of an ask to say.
But we've all been in, well, not all of us, but we've been in dressing rooms where certain players have to be 100%. Now, I'm with those guys, that era where I can't remember a day I woke up and something didn't hurt and you just go out there, you train, you play, it's not a problem. But the key is it's going to be interesting. It'd be really good if you guys had a cup final this week because you see how many are fit all of a sudden now.
Okay, let me ask you now, your opinion.
Yeah.
And you don't know any more than I do.
No.
If yesterday was the FA Cup final, do you think Rashford and Bruno would have played?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Do you really?
Yeah, 100%. There are players out there that, and listen, we've been in company of people that have been in that medical industry that have told us about players in terms of like mentally weak. And it's just one of those where I know players, like people like Ledley. You look at people like Ledley who had his knee. Mate, used to cause him that many problems, but guess what? He was out there. Do you know what I mean? His knee was that bad, but he was out there.
Mo is a Man United fan, wants to say hello, Mo.
Hi guys, first time caller, long time listener.
Oh, okay, why is it? That's very kind. Why has it taken you a long time to pick up the phone?
Lads, I've been phoning, but I never get through.
Oh.
And then so I got lucky today. So I've been sat in the car outside my house for the last 20 minutes.
Okay, well, we're glad that you have kept dialing in, and now you can have your say. It better be good though, otherwise you'll never phone again.
Boys, our United team is the worst United team in my life. Like I'm 32 years old. Mm-hmm. There's just every week before watching a United game, I'm ready to be depressed because I know what's to be expected. There's no passion in the team. It's just a culture that the Glazers have had of poor investment, poor philosophy, and the culture has just been absolutely terrible.
Okay, let me ask you some questions now, okay? When you say poor investment, all right?
Yeah.
Have spent a lot of money, the owners. Now, I don't want to talk about the fact they haven't pumped more money in, right? And I agree with you, they're not the greatest owners. And I would love them to sell the club and other owners come in with more money. I get all that. But they have spent money on players, but it's been the wrong players. £90 million for Anthony isn't the answer.
No, I 100% agree. I think there's no structure from the top, and this is why we needed Ineos to an extent. Obviously, Glazers out would have been ideal, but we finally got a structure coming in, and it's just happening at the worst time. But all the players that we've bought, like Di Maria, or players, they didn't fit a system. It felt like Woodward was playing Football Manager, and just be able to reset the team if he needed to, or go back to the last save date. But at the moment, none of the players that we've bought are here. Pogba's gone, big money for him. Lukaku, big money, gone. There was just never a plan. It was always putting a plaster on a crack and never actually fixing the crack in the team, let alone...
Or the roof, yeah.
What's your view on the manager?
Sorry, what's my take on the manager?
Yeah, next season.
Well, Ten Hag was a great manager before he came to United, and we've seen numerous great managers come to United in the last 10 years and look bang average / championship level. I think he deserves a chance of a proper structure. Like, what's he had in the last 2 years? All right, we've been terrible this season, but I mean, watch that game against Arsenal, watch that game against Crystal Palace. Where was the passion? Like, I grew up watching Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, even Carrick. You know, I'd say Tom Cleverley at one point had more passion than some of our players, and he wasn't a world beater. But the defence is obsolete. Like, Casemiro just doesn't want to run, jumps in. Like, I feel sorry for Mainu and Garnacho, two young, bright talents. Hoyland as well. it's just negative. What's the point of them trying when the rest of their players are either out of position, injured, or for a paycheck like Jadon Sancho was for a year?
Do you know what, Mo? Erik ten Hag spent 373 million since he's been there.
How much?
373 million.
Yeah.
How many of those signings do you think have worked?
Hey, I completely agree with you, Benny. I understand how many of those have worked, but again, we're putting plasters on the crack. He's signing players for a system that he wants to play, but the culture of the club and what Rooney said last night, I can completely agree with that. There's players in that dressing room, and you guys have said this for years and years and years. I've listened to you guys for years. There's a culture in that dressing room, be it from, I don't know who it can be, but there's a lot of toxic players. Mourinho alluded to it. A lot of the players that he had are still there. You know, there's just no... I've seen Luton have more passion. I've seen, like, Arsenal, it pains me to say it, Benny, but, you know, Arsenal have passion again, but Arteta's a building job. Like, the first year and a half, a lot of my mates are Arsenal fans, and they wanted Arteta out.
Yeah.
But in order to rebuild, you need to go through pain, and unfortunately, as a United fan, goes to you understand, like, we've gone through so much pain, but there's never been any, like, green grass that's growing. We sack a manager, never give anyone, with 2 years, never give anyone a chance to actually implement a philosophy they want. Unless as United fans, we just fixated on the good times. But Fergie's days when he started weren't ideal until, you know, the class of '92 sort of flourished. Yeah. But before that, it was just poor.
Mo, listen, you said you haven't phoned before. You're a great call. You make sure you call again.
I'd love to, guys. Appreciate it. Great show. Always listen on the way home from work.
It's only great because people like you phone up. Thank you, Mo. Have a great afternoon.
Cheers. Take care, guys.
I'm going to ask you 2 quick questions. Okay, question number 1. When, and I don't know the answer to this, when a player like Erik ten Hag says, I want Anthony, does he have any say in how much the club pay for him?
No, but also if you have a sporting director, then they would go, listen, I know you want Anthony, but look at this guy. We feel this guy fits better. But then obviously Erik ten Hag's gone, well, I know him.
I don't think we had a sporting director when that happened.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, because who would have taken Anthony over Kudus?
Yeah, I know. If Man United win the FA Cup, is that a good season? No.
It's a successful because you won the cup, but in terms of building blocks, no.
Okay.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.